We have quite an interesting conversation right now with Omolewa Adesuyi. She's popularly known as Mama Spade. She's a Nigerian adventurer, entrepreneur, and motorcycle rider. She rode across Africa from Lagos to Cape Town, South Africa. Wow. Her bold riding expenditure wasn't just about the thrill of the open road, but it was a mission to tell powerful African stories of strength, resilience, warmth, and promote unity across the continent and champions women empowerment. So you see women empowerment, you already got me there. And inspiring young women and girls. I'm sold. I'm totally sold. It's such a pleasure to have you on our couch. I mean, I am so inspired because I work with a lot of powerful women. My mother was a powerful woman, and she's someone that I've always admired. And so when I see women, you know, who not just show their intellectual, you know, prowess, but their physical strength, it's letting the men know that what you can do, we can do better. It's not a competition, guys. Nobody should come after me, please. It's not a competition in any way. But hey, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
First off, what inspired you to take that trip from Nigeria to South Africa with your bike? Like you rode.
Yes, all the way.
What inspired it? Talk to us.
First, I would say my love for riding motorcycles. I started riding 5 years ago, and ever since then. 5 years ago.
I was expecting to hear a decade ago.
I know, right? When I mentioned this to one of the women riders in South Africa, she got up and she hugged me like, just 5 years, and you're here. So when I started riding, I would say to myself, I was only going to ride to church, right? But then I fell in love with traveling, and I've traveled around Nigeria, but it wasn't enough. Okay. I went all the way from Lagos to Ivory Coast. It still wasn't enough. I wanted to see more of Africa, so I looked, where's the next best place? That I haven't heard anybody from Lagos has traveled to South Africa, says, I want to do this. So I took my bike and I got up and I rode all the way from Lagos to Cape Town, South Africa, and even further to Pretoria.
Let's talk about how you were able to navigate, you know, from leaving Lagos to, you know, the border towns and, you know, taking those leaps across, you know, different cities and different countries before you got to South Africa.
So from Lagos, I traveled to Ikom, which is in Cross River State. Right. It's a border town between Nigeria and Cameroon. Okay. I remember the night before I crossed into Cameroon, I broke down. I had a panic attack. You know, it was at that point I knew that it was real and there was no going back. Wow. Yeah, so, and then going into Cameroon, there was a lot of news of kidnapping, of, you know, I was really scared. But the moment I crossed into Cameroon, that was it. There was no fear, no hold back, and I just became a big girl. And I crossed from Cameroon to Congo, from Congo to DRC, DRC to Angola. I remember when I got to the Angola border, the custom officers, they followed me on TikTok, you know, and they were so happy to see me. And, you know, things like this just make the trip easy for me when I meet people who know me, you know, so who are proud of me. Now,
while you are taking us through this journey, right, I would also like you to tell us how many days you spent in each country. Okay. Yeah, their food as well, because I mean, you also got to experience their culture as you were, you know, navigating through these countries. Yeah. Okay, one thing, everybody that knows me knows that I love food. Oh, wow. That's usually the highlights of my trip, so please go ahead.
So I love food so much, so I stayed in each country at least 4 days. Or some countries I stayed more to eat more food, right? I think in Cameroon, I stayed about a week because I traveled through different towns or different states in each country, so it takes some time. Right. So in Cameroon now, I visited Buea, Limbe, Douala, Yaoundé before I crossed to Congo, where I went to, I can't remember the town now, and then Brazzaville, which is the capital. In most of these countries, I visit the capitals, and then I visit smaller towns, also in Angola. When I got to Angola, I talk about Angola a lot. It was a beautiful place, and I realized that I wanted to spend more time in the smaller towns because that is where the stories are. That's where the food is, you know.
True.
And then the people are warmer because, you know, the hustle and bustle of the big cities are not there. So, yeah. And then in Namibia, I spent a longer time because my bike broke down. So I was there for a while fixing my bike before I continued to South Africa.
Wow, interesting. Okay, now let's look at the duration. I mean, when did you leave Lagos and when did you get to South Africa?
I left home on the 16th of March, and on the 27th of April, I was in Cape Town.
Wow.
Yes.
That is interesting. I mean, I'm still blown away by it. And I mean, it's really brave of you, you know, to do this, also, you know, inspire other women and, you know, letting them know that, I mean, if you can do it,
yes,
you can do it. And, you know, other, you know, women, we all can do it. This is quite an inspiring story. And I know that you're taking another trip really soon from Cape Town
yes,
back to Nigeria, because I mean your bike
my bike is there,
is right now is in South Africa,
yes,
and you still have to go back to South Africa to get it and then bring it back.
Yeah, well, I'm planning to go back and go to East Africa before coming home.
Before coming
yes,
back
I want
home.
to see more of Africa.
I would really love to talk about some of the challenges that you had to face as a woman taking on these trips, because I mean, even in our day-to-day lives as women, we face challenges, obstacles as women in our place of work, at home, in our society. So what were some of the challenges that you had to face, especially in African countries where patriarchy, you know, is everywhere? Okay,
honestly, I didn't face any challenge because I am a woman. I only faced challenges because I am African. When I got to Congo, Brazzaville, I wanted to cross into Congo DRC, and that was where I had my main challenge for border crossing. It was a hassle crossing my bike. I needed to go get some papers. It took so long. Wow. It took about 4 hours. I was in the office for 4 hours waiting, and then I was going to take a ferry. So the ferry was going to leave me, you know, so it was a struggle. And then when I got back to the ferry, the immigration officer told me that I have a wrong visa, that I should have gotten a transit visa, not a tourist visa. I mean, a tourist visa is more expensive than a transit visa. Right. It is my money, so why say, oh, I got a wrong visa? You know, that is the challenge I faced, but I didn't face that because I'm a woman. Right. If anything, the fact that I'm a woman
even made it easier.
Yeah, helped me, made my journey easier in every border.
Thank you so much, Molewa, for coming to share your story with us.
Thank you.
I'm deeply inspired by this and looking forward to your next trip.
Thank you so much.